The Galactic Council's assembly hall glittered like a jewel against the void. Hundreds of delegates from thousands of species filled the chamber, each one more colorful, or grotesque, than the last. Long spindly limbs, multi-eyed heads, translucent bodies, and armored exoskeletons. All of them staring at the Terran delegation. Earth had arrived. In orbit above the Council's citadel, a small fleet of human ships had taken position. 3 frigates, 2 cruisers, and 1 transport vessel carrying diplomats. By galactic standards, it was toy-sized. The alien councilors whispered. Primitive, hissed one. Pathetic, said another. Do they even know how to fire a railgun? The humans did not react. Ambassador Elena Voss stood at the forefront, her posture calm, dignified. Her eyes scanned the chamber with quiet fire. Beside her, Captain Yarrick Morgan of the Earth Navy remained silent, his hands folded behind his back, the insignia of Project Titan barely visible on his shoulder. A holographic reporter floated above the floor, projecting a banner. Earth's Navy. Laughably small, economically insignificant. Laughter erupted. Delegates smirked, muttered to one another, and leaned back in their chairs. Elena Voss smiled politely. Welcome, esteemed members of the Council, she said. Her voice echoed with calm authority. We come in peace, but we are not to be underestimated. A Hellion delegate snorted. Peace? Your fleet is the size of a medium-class moon station. Do you think we fear you? Yarrick Morgan stepped forward. His voice was measured. Fear? No. Respect? Soon enough. The delegates snickered again. Behind the assembly, massive orbital hangars loomed in silent darkness, unseen by the Council. Inside, humanity's hidden engineering marvels were growing. Project Titan, the Titan-Class Warship that dwarfed entire moons, slowly taking shape in cloaked construction bays. Every weld, every reactor coil, every cannon bore the silent promise. The galaxy had underestimated Earth. Do you have anything else to say? The Hellion asked, amusement dripping from his voice. Voss inclined her head. We will speak soon enough. And when we do, the galaxy will remember that humanity does not bluff. The laughter subsided slightly, replaced by curiosity and thinly veiled impatience. The meeting adjourned for recess. Delegates exited the chamber, still muttering. Elena turned to Yarrick, her eyes hard. They think this is all we have, she said softly. Let them enjoy their laughter. It will be the last one they ever hear. Morgan's expression was unreadable. Soon, he said. The Titan wakes. And then the shadow will fall. Outside, Earth's small fleet remained in orbit, apparently fragile, apparently insignificant. And in the dark of the orbital docks, a Titan-class silhouette stirred, cloaked in shadows. Its reactor hum resonated like a heartbeat across the void. The galaxy laughed. But the shadow was already moving. Far beyond the inner Council systems, in the cold emptiness of the outer rim, sensors blinked erratically. A massive gravitational anomaly was moving at impossible velocity, its mass unmeasurable. Fleets scrambled to track it, but readings faltered. Ships shook under the strange tidal forces. Nothing like it had ever been seen. On the bridge of the Terran frigate TSS Vanguard, Captain Yarrick Morgan watched the holofeed with a quiet smile. Every sensor in the sector is screaming, his XO said nervously. They're detecting something. Something huge. Morgan's gaze didn't waver. Let them panic. That is the point. Back in the Galactic Council, rumors spread like wildfire. Holographic transmissions lit every star system. Messages of rogue supermassive object, collapsing dwarf star, and unknown gravitational singularity circulated. Panic blossomed. Alien admirals barked orders. Fleets reoriented, weapons primed, shields strengthened. Intelligence reports suggested it could be a collapsing star, or worse, a weapon beyond comprehension. Meanwhile, Ambassador Elena Voss remained in her orbital chamber, addressing the Council remotely. Her voice calm, commanding. That anomaly is human. That mass, that shadow, it is ours. We call it the Titan. The delegates froze. Many blinked their multiple eyes in confusion. What do you mean, yours? A Drox representative demanded. Voss smiled. We have been preparing for this moment for decades. The galaxy laughs at Earth's fleet, but what you see approaching is the first Titan-Class Warship. It is our shadow, and soon, it will be your reckoning. The alien council erupted. Advisors screamed, impossible! Humanity cannot. But the warning had already been delivered. Back at the Vanguard, Morgan activated communications with the construction fleet hidden in the shadows of Sol's outer orbit. Cloaked, enormous, and silent, the Titan-Class Warship TSS Behemoth began the final calibration of its reactors. Its hull gleamed faintly against the void, a subtle prelude to devastation. Sensors on alien ships detected strange distortions, a mass too large to exist, a shadow that swallowed entire starfields. Panic spread across their fleet. Fleet commanders whispered to each other. Is that a ship? No, that's a moon. It's moving. It's alive. The council convened emergency sessions. Holodelegates argued and shouted, but there was no consensus, no solution, no defense. Morgan's voice echoed through the Vanguard. Let them learn fear. Let them see the shadow. They mocked us. Let them see what laughter costs. In the black beyond the outer rim, the Titan stirred. Cloaked no longer, it began its approach toward the inner council systems. Its mass distorted space, bending light, eclipsing stars. For the first time, the galaxy felt small, insignificant, and mortal. And the humans? They were smiling. Because the shadow had already fallen. The void tore open. At the edge of known space, a white-hot rift ignited, a rip in the fabric of reality. From it, the Titan-Class Warship TSS Behemoth emerged, a moon-sized colossus, its hull gleaming with reactor fire that could be seen from a light-year away. Sensors across dozens of alien fleets overloaded instantly. Ships shook as if a phantom gravity well passed through them. Radar, lidar, mass scanners, none could measure it. Fleet commanders screamed over comms. It's impossible, one Drox admiral shouted. What kind of weapon is that? Another cried. Flee. Flee the sector. But fleeing did not help. The behemoth's shadow already fell upon them, swallowing entire squadrons in its colossal eclipse. Its dorsal cannons were the size of skyscrapers, and its hull bristled with weapons unseen even in the largest supercapitals of the galaxy. From the bridge of the TSS Vanguard, Captain Yerrick Morgan watched with calm authority. His XO, pale, whispered, They can't comprehend it, our ship, it's a moon. Morgan's lips curved into the slightest smile. Exactly. The message. A broadcast began, transmitted through every frequency, encrypted channel, and pirate relay. To the fleets of the galaxy, stand by for demonstration. The alien commanders froze. Holoscreens flashed as systems recalibrated. Communications networks were jammed in panic as thousands of messages crossed one another. None of the galaxy's great powers had ever witnessed something like this. And then came the first demonstration. The demonstration. A rogue fleet of mercenary warships, armed and bold, tried to challenge the Titan. Their combined firepower dwarfed any single Terran ship, but it was nothing compared to the behemoth. A single blast from its dorsal mass driver vaporized the lead battleship. Its shockwave ripped through the rest of the formation. Ships crumpled, shields failed, and debris rained across the void. Entire battle clusters were gone in seconds. Admirals stared at each other, voices trembling. This cannot be real. It's a moon, it's moving, it's alive. Morgan watched from orbit. Calm. Patient. Certain. Humanity had waited. The galaxy had mocked. And now it would learn fear. The galaxy panics. Across council sectors, fleets scrambled. Some attempted to intercept the Titan-Class Warship. Others sent emergency delegations begging for parley. But all sensors, all weapons, all attempts at resistance failed. The behemoth was beyond comprehension. Even hyperspace lanes were disrupted by its gravitational mass. Light bent around the vessel. Stars appeared swallowed. Entire systems trembled under its approach. And still, humanity transmitted a single, chilling phrase across every channel. "We have arrived." The galaxy understood the truth at last. Earth was not weak. Earth had been waiting, and the shadow of the Titan had already fallen. The galaxy had laughed. Now it screamed. The TSS Behemoth drifted into the heart of the Outer Rim's warlord cluster, a system of heavily armed fortresses, orbital platforms, and mercenary fleet. These were the proudest, deadliest mercenary lords in known space, fleet commanders who believed themselves untouchable. They were wrong. The first strike. The behemoth's dorsal mass driver charged. Energy built inside its reactor coils, a hum that vibrated through space itself. Alien sensors were fried by the sheer intensity. A single target was selected. The flagship of the Warlord Consortium, a vessel larger than many planets' orbital stations. "Fire," Yerrick Morgan ordered. The beam tore through space, a column of white-hot energy wider than the flagship itself. Shields melted, hull plating vaporized, and a chain reaction obliterated the enemy fleet. Fragments were sent spinning across multiple star systems. Council delegates watched in horror. Even those far from the warlord fleets felt the tremor. Panic across the galaxy. In every sector, the news spread. The humans have a moon-sized ship. Entire fleets annihilated in seconds. Weapons beyond imagination. Alien admirals trembled. Diplomats called emergency meetings. Fleets scrambled, attempting to intercept the behemoth, but it outpaced, outgunned, and outmaneuvered them at every turn. "Impossible," muttered a Drox general. "No species should be capable of this." But humanity was not a species to be constrained by expectations. The message to the Galactic Council. The behemoth hovered silently above the shattered remains of the warlord cluster. Across every communications network, Ambassador Elena Voss transmitted. "We are no longer a primitive backwater. We are not to be laughed at. The Titan-Class Warship is only the beginning. Respect humanity, or face extinction." For the first time in millennia, silence fell over the Council. Not one voice dared challenge the Terrans. Not a single species tried to protest. The galaxy realizes the truth. Sensors detected the behemoth moving closer to the inner systems. Stars appeared dim as its gravitational mass bent light. Entire fleets were eclipsed by its shadow. Even the most arrogant warlords whispered to their aides. "Do you see it? It's bigger than anything we've ever imagined." Do they even need weapons? The humans, they were never weak. They were waiting. The galaxy understood something vital. Earth had hidden its power for this exact moment. And the shadow of the Titan was no longer just a threat, it was a promise. The Terran legacy begins. As the behemoth turned back toward the Sol system, the warlord cluster in ruins, every alien fleet, every councilor, every mercenary lord understood the same horrifying fact. Underestimating humanity was no longer an option. And the shadow would return. The stars burned quietly above the Sol system. Not from war. Not yet. But from anticipation. Every fleet in the galaxy had watched the Titan-Class Warship in action. Every councilor, every mercenary lord, every alien diplomat knew the truth. Earth had the ultimate weapon, and they would not hesitate to use it. In orbit above Luna, the Terran High Command convened. Admiral Yerrick Morgan stood before a projection of the galaxy, dotted with trembling fleet. "Report," he said. "Every rogue faction that resisted has surrendered or been destroyed," his XO replied. "The Council is attempting to open negotiations, but they're terrified." Morgan nodded. "Good. Let them understand respect is earned. Fear is a lesson. And humanity never forgets its children, or its pride." The Council begins to plead. Holofeeds lit up across Terran Command. The Galactic Council's representatives appeared, visibly shaken. Tentacles trembled. Scales rattled. Eyes blinked furiously. Terrans, a Hellion ambassador stammered. We acknowledge your supremacy. Your Titan, your technology, we cannot. Morgan interrupted, voice calm but sharp. You mocked our navy. You laughed at our fleet. You called us primitive. You expected weakness. You were wrong. The alien delegates went silent. Now, Morgan continued, negotiate from a position of honesty. Humanity will accept treaties, yes, but never at the cost of respect. Never at the cost of fear. And never without the knowledge that the Titan-Class Shadow can, and will, return. The galaxy trembled. Every fleet began recalibrating its policies. Mercenary groups dissolved or offered allegiance. Systems once indifferent to Earth's power now sent envoys, offering cooperation and pledging loyalty. Across the galaxy, the stories began. The moon that moved and crushed fleets. The shadow over the stars. Humanity awakens. Whispered in fear and awe. Do not mock Earth. Do not provoke the Titan. It sees everything. It remembers everything. And it will return. The legacy of the Titan. In orbit around Luna, the Titan-class TSS behemoth gleamed like a miniature sun. Its massive cannons and sprawling hull reflected the rising sun over Earth. Children played on Earth's surface, oblivious to the cosmic warning above. Captain Yerrick Morgan stood beside Ambassador Elena Voss, watching humanity's future unfold. Do you think they'll ever underestimate us again? Voss asked. Morgan's gaze swept across the void. No, he said softly. They'll remember the shadow of the Titan forever. And across the stars, the galaxy understood the truth. Humanity was no longer small. Humanity was no longer laughable. Humanity had arrived. And the shadow would always watch.